This is Robert Demers for Conman here at the Montreal Comic Con, and I'm here with Andy Belanger, the artist for Kill Shakespeare and the upcoming Southern Cross. How are you doing today?
Good, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. How's the convention been treating you so far?
Well, I've only been here a couple hours, but I've eaten pizza and 2 sandwiches, an apple, and a coffee, so I'm having a good time.
What was it about comic books that made you want to draw your own?
Oh, I was into comic books from the time I was about 4 or 5. My father got me into it, and I'm from Kitchener-Waterloo, just an hour west of Toronto. And there was a great secondhand bookstore there. And in that secondhand bookstore, they had all kinds of books from like the 60s, 70s. They were all like secondhand and yellow paper and everything. And I got really into like horror comics from, like EC horror comics and Creature Commandos and all those kind of things, Tomb of Dracula and Frankenstein. So those were sort of the books that really got me into not only my love of horror films and stuff, but my love of comic books came from those days where my dad would pick me up a couple times a week and he'd go look at advertising books and I'd sit there reading comic books. So, and then I just started drawing, and I've probably been drawing since I was about 6. Yeah.
You're having a fantastic run with Kill Shakespeare. How was it to design these classic Shakespearean characters for the book?
Well, it was kind of interesting because when I was in high school, no high school kid really liked Shakespeare, but I really gravitated towards it because when everyone else is whining about the language of it, I was like, underneath, Macbeth is a really like kind of hardcore story. I mean, he gets beheaded at the end and his head put on a stick, and just like a lot of the stories just had a really dark undertone to them. I mean, if you're in high school and the only stuff you're doing is the comedies, then you might not really pick up on it, but the tragedies I always thought were really cool. So getting into this, when I was pitched on the idea of Kill Shakespeare, I was already a Shakespeare fan, so I pretty much jumped right on. Yeah.
You're currently working with Becky Cloonan on the upcoming Southern Cross.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the book?
Yeah, Southern Cross is it's going to be a book a little bit like, how would I describe it, like The Shining on a haunted spaceship. It has a little bit of like Agatha Christie, Bronte sisters style storytelling, but with, a space theme to it. And the way I'm designing the book, it's a little bit different. I'm coming at it with more of like an urban feel instead of, me watching Blade Runner or, Mass Effect or something like that. I'm trying to be really different in my design work.
Having worked on so long on Kill Shakespeare, how is it to shake things up with science fiction?
Well, that was the point. I mean, I've been working on Shakespeare for about 5 years now, and I self-publish a book called Black Church that's, medieval as well. So for 5 years, all I've done is like sword and sandals, medieval, Shakespearean, barbarian, that kind of stuff. So I was like, I don't care what I do next, but it's got to be in space. Whatever it is, it's in space. So, and I'm all for genre fiction. I'm not really a noir guy. I'm not really into that kind of stuff. I'm into, if it's not in the past, I kind of want it to be in the future. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's sort of where I'm at, yeah.
What can we look forward to coming out of Southern Cross in the upcoming issues?
Well, the first 6 issues are going to be a fairly standalone story that lead into the second arc. But it's going to be super creepy. It's not a gore fest. It's not like, heads flying off. It's more psychological, creepy horror. And, like a lot of Becky's stuff is. And I think when we get together, like when my art and her writing meet up, it's going to do some really cool stuff. I'm already well into the pages. I've already started working. And already it's so much fun. It's really cool. Like I've already designed a space airport and all the rest of that, and all the characters like in the airport, and it's super like science fiction-y, and it's, I'm getting a lot of, it has a definite Mobius feel already, so I'm excited about it. It's gonna be really cool. And I think you're gonna get really into the characters. We spend a lot of time, working on the characters, focusing on them, and I think you'll really dig it. It's gonna be cool.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the time here in the Montreal Comic Con.
Yeah, thanks, man. For sure. Yeah, have a good one.